Ooh, welcome everybody to this through. Hi everyone. Good day. How are you guys doing today? Hello. We have Chunkera first minute of the day. Say hi to the Chunky. Man. How's it going? 1 second. Their story. Family. Yeah. They got some name. Yeah. Because Simfa do have name. I can't say their names though because they're easily unidentifiable. I think there's at least a 50% chance that these cats' names are the only ones in this city. That's how extreme it is. Like my family puts them in social media a lot, so there's no way a cat can dox you. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. I mean, if I didn't give away my city ever, I would. Maybe. You'll get so many views by title VTuber dogs to yourself over family cat. I don't know if we have to get somebody really mad for that to happen. Because I mean, it's not easy, right? But like, it gives room. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've already given enough information to get dogs. I'm not gonna specify, of course, but you see that clip of the stalker that tried to break into a VTuber's house? Shit. Am I clicking? What require car names? Okay, you got the fat, you got the raccoon, and you got the black one. Happy? That's how I call them anyways. Yeah. You got the chunker for like, you know,
Imagine.
to make it not song a spot. The black one is the farter. That bitch farts. Your brother is chunker? Yeah, well imagine that in cat version. Party Farty and Raccoon. And the raccoon. Because it literally looks like a fucking raccoon. Hello? Stealing? What do you need? I'm still afraid. What's all that? But I've been ironically almost grinding every day. I like grinding.
You can entrust your goods without worry, since it's an
That's the
official
way on
trade
this
zone
piece
approved by
of
the head of
shit
the
to
Magic
sell.
Guild.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't think I'm gonna sell anything. Was that the wilds? I don't like it. Oh yeah. The fucking coupons. But it's new. Eh. I don't like I say all the time, I don't hunt animals, I hunt people. Hunting animals is gonna lay. To me. That's just me though. You're literally grinding here and it's not the same shit. You cannot fucking tell me it's the same shit. Shut up. Not even. You can't even fathom a similitude between this game and the other. There's no way you can. No way. Not even close by like 10%. I will say you can fucking bring more similitudes to Black Myth Wukong and a Monster Hunter than Monster Hunter in this game. The other way around. Yeah. That's crazy, yo. Wasn't there a thing to move you when you're stuck? I'll do it myself. That is gonna be pretty cute and start with this is there under world. I don't know. I tried playing the other one. I could. I don't know, man. You played it when you were forced to? Yeah, and what's happening right now? Oh my, how the fuck did my horse die? My god, man. Huh? Oh. Kill the horse, it was alive the last time I looked at it. Also, Lucy, go to sleep or I'm gonna bang you. Sleep.
This
Fuck
is
off.
the point where the
Sleep.
neutral zone ends.
Hey, man. Another use a suicide bomber. You're gonna become the suicide bomber if you don't go to sleep. The news looks like you can play Stargate 2 without problems. What? Them. Es una gran novedad sobre REFUNDS and many things. I used to like hunting animals around. I don't know. Hunting animals? It ain't it, Chip. I don't know, man. It's just not my thing. Is that just mere animals, though? Yeah? Where are they? What excuse could you possibly give me? They're friends? They're monsters. I don't know, I have a feeling we're the real monsters. And it's called Monster Hunter. Why you title droppings? I don't know, man. It ain't my thing. Someone playing Word still? Probably. I mean, they make pretty good games. That might not be my taste. They're pretty good. I so amusing being able to grind with no music or anything on the background. It's like the raw dogging it in a way. I just raw dogging it. You know what terms means? Are you gonna bring another stupid shit that is used in different terms? Every time you say, you know what that term means or some shit, I already know what you're gonna say. I know, I don't give a fuck. I don't know how I say it, and that's not the only meaning. I could give less of a fuck what people use to describe sex. That's not what I mean. You know it, I know it, no one cares. What do I need? What do I even need to know? I don't care. If you keep bringing the fucking tweet on, I'm gonna start living like Asmongold. I promise on God. It's up to you. You wanna go that far? I'll go that far. Asmon had his fun on the stream. I need to see that. Dude, I like his stats so much. Like, that guy is so cool, man, I swear. I envy him. Like, that guy, like, genuinely, he's so nice, man. He also shits on him all the time and calls him on stream to make sure he's not saying grown stuff. That guy is so fucking cool. I guess literally a parental figure that I'll never have. Take care of though, yes, yes. Those in, I believe in me. Hey. I ain't gonna bring that immersion. Oh damn. Just about to do even more damage, so I'm gonna go pew! I'm probably gonna clear faster than these guys can even spawn. Which is a bit of a problem, but it's okay. No problem. Damn. Oh. Wait. Oh man. There we go. I need to break this shit again. I don't know, dude. I really like grinding on this game. It's gotta have the best MMO combat ever. Like, there's no way. Like, if I had to start from scratch, I probably would never play the game. But like, since I don't have to, and I already got everything that I want. Not that I want, but like, everything that I need at the moment. Like, whatever. YouTube had to bring music from phone. I fucking know. Understandable. I really wonder what's happening to Echo. I think Maro said the ground thing and YouTube might have shadow banned him. I do recall Echo being a little bit on the spectrum of not a lot of common sense. I wouldn't be surprised if you shadow banned him. He just refuses to switch from Microsoft Edge. Well, I mean, it is what it is, you know? I think you send out a YouTube stream so not to know what YouTube says are live. It's pretty much 90% echo. And yeah, echo voices his opinions sometimes a little... No. Yeah. I mean, the hands hit. Like when somebody gets banned, on other people's channels, I already have a bit of a feeling of how they're going to be. Like, yeah, okay. We're not gonna have a nice chat, just for sure. Ah. Like, you know, like, there are a lot of stupid people that stream and they'll ban you for no reason. But when it happens more than one time, maybe you gotta start thinking. And like I said before, I will never be a chatter. I don't know how to be a chatter. I will get banned for sure. That's why I don't do it. I don't know, it's just weird to me. I don't like the chatting experience of watching someone and typing on the chat. I don't know, this shit's weird to me. I'm not capable, I guess. And I'm not calling you guys weird. It's just that I feel it's weird for me. Well, you are weird, but like, so am I. He doesn't say a lot. If you asking chat to press a bonus wouldn't? What the fuck, man? That's crazy. I was thinking of every time I get in Twitter and I look at, you know, tweets from people that do fan arts or like face Twitter or whatever, and it's some cute or horny shit. Meanwhile, I get drowned as a terrorist. It's the ass among the fed, I guess. It's just funny to me. Not that I wanna be drowned as cute or horny shit, that's up to you guys. I honestly don't care. I do find it funny. Let's run and go here. Hello. Well, you said that whatever you want. I just haven't done you cute or horny. I don't gonna say that, I don't care. I just can do whatever the fuck you want. cute, disturbing, creepy, anything. Well, that's just the side effect. You can know whatever you want. I do not care. Especially after the whole Maggie thing. I don't care about that guy. I already knew he wasn't gonna tell anything. This is like the beginning. I know. Like, that guy just wanted attention. That's all. That guy is one of those people that pretends to have a better life than he actually has. And that's okay. I mean, it's just a way of coping. I want to make you music. Is that a side effect? I'm not putting a playlist anymore. Look, man, I don't know. I've been trying to find one. Less than before, but I still haven't. I haven't fully given up yet. I just can't find a good fucking playlist, bro. Everything has copyright and it's so annoying. I hate it, man. Everything is so fucking annoying. You have another year? Okay. Thank you, yeah, I didn't know. I told us he had 2 cards in this economy. I feel like if I drew an instant for you, you wouldn't care, but if I drew for you, you'd ban me. Like I said, you can draw whatever the hell you want. I don't care. I do not care. Así digan tu idioma casi play. I'm playing sorceress. I have a size and I spin around until everything dies. Ah, damn. What should I draw for? Something that will get attention on Twitter. Nah, you gotta figure that one out yourself, because I don't know. Honestly, if you wanna draw something controversial that will give attention on Twitter, I'm all for it. I am all for it. Nada más she gets attention on Twitter and I think for you. That's crazy. It's okay, I feel you. does feel like I'm shadowbanned. I think what I have to do is ban more people or like block more people. I don't know why. It's a feeling out. Maybe I don't block enough people. You need to mute them. I'm talking so the algorithm notices me. I don't care what they post, I'm talking about like the algorithm noticing me. I don't know, it's a feeling I have. I don't really know though. I don't know, it's cause like I see so much stupid shit sometimes and I look at my posts and I know that I do way better than that. But somehow the algorithm doesn't catch it. I'm still trying to figure that out. Like it may genuinely be random. Is that the controversial you can stand by? Yeah, you know what's the problem? I don't know what I stand by that's controversial. I don't think there's much. I think I play way too safe sometimes. And I guess it's probably because I don't care. Maybe if I cared more, I'd be more controversial. And I mean, I don't care about anything very much. There's only one thing I genuinely care about, and that's my graphs on YouTube and Twitch and not Twitch anymore, but YouTube. Fuck out of here. Just because you're not first and you here pick American hours? I guess. You like shooters? Yeah, I do. I mostly play shooters. Look at the stream, play me a smile. I'm Spanish. Unfortunately. I believe that Twitter only really promotes telecoms now. How much was Twitter Premium? I mean, I don't know. I could let it as a business expense if I need to. Like I'm not kidding. Like that's what I need to do. That's what I gotta do. It is what it is, you know. It sucks a little bit, though. That's what I need to do. That's money and it scares, you know. Who knows, though? I was thinking of moving the little keyboard, the virtual keyboard, on the right side, but I'm not sure. As I should really probably hide the server. What on left? I took the shit I could. Well, that's the chat though. But I mean, I could, yeah. I don't remember if there's anything on the chat important. Like besides people, I don't care about that. I'll try. By the way, we haven't for anything else to do, just XP money. This is the best money spot that is for me, and that is gonna be until like a long time. I'd say this is probably all you're gonna see for like a good amount of time. And I'm also farming on stream, by the way, but yeah. I'm just looking for the money. Just like Twitch, am I right? I don't know why there's anything on Maple Story. I never seen anything about it. I know it's infamous. I know that. I'll do that when I have energy. I'm fine. Like I said, you should fucking go to sleep. And you're gonna fucking die one day. And I don't want my statistics of how many people die in my stream to go up. I'm good. Because I know you're not gonna be the first one, because I've been here for so many fucking years. It's content if I die. If you die, it's no content. I've only played the German most and that's Warframe and well. Yeah. Does Destiny count as an MMO? Kind of. I play Destiny too. And I played really dark and weird MMOs before that I not shall name because there are games with like 15 people that know each other and hate each other, by the way. But yeah. Yeah, I played a few others. After you have an hostess and you flipping people off, I'm gonna say something crazy. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it. You'll just know that I had the thought of getting cancelled. I wanted to play Destiny Children, but the pay-to-win stories don't want to touch it. There's so many reasons you shouldn't touch besides that one. And there's too many reasons to not play that game. I tell you this now though, I don't regret playing it. I do, yes, kind of regret near the end. Because I did waste like an insane amount of time coping. That's because they're like, before that it was such a good experience before the coping began. So yeah. I love back Destiny 2. Like before. I know before it was kinda shit, but this is right, man. They really went all in with the dog shit. That's a lie. That's a big comment. One of the things I'll never forgive Destiny though is holding content, because quote unquote consoles wouldn't hold the size of the game. I will never forgive Destiny 2 for that, never. I said one thing I'll never forgive them for, ever. They literally took away the only thing I like, which was the content. And they put whatever dog shit content they wanted. Namaskar on Destiny 2. And I guess now, yeah, before, not even close. And I mean, they're different games, so yeah. Namaskar, Subnautica, now you don't know what you're talking about there. What the fuck, man? What do you mean? And two different games, what are you talking about? How the fuck are you even like compare? You can't even compare those two. a fucking good game now. Yeah, but it's the same shit as, like, I don't know, bro. It's so stupid. That's a dumb fucking comparison. And different games. So Nautica is fucking big. Let me tell you, I played again 3 times. And I could go with them with one singular hand the amount of games that I played multiple times. That's one of them. You could argue because stream whatever, yeah, but I still did it. Like, and then I played like New Vegas twice in comparison. So Nautica is fucking big, bro. Yeah, but this Nautica devs are kinda shit worse than other games. So are you gonna be like, I don't know, like those people? Because they do some other stupid shit, you're not gonna play the one that is good? You gonna cancel them now? So Nautica, the first game, fucking big, bro. The other games, well, I quit one of them. I never even finished it, I just quit. I uninstalled the game, I said, no, I'm not playing this shit. But the first one? Oh man, that was big, bro. That really was something. They're never going to make something like that. Never. You know what, playing with one hand means, right? Yeah, playing with one hand. Like, I don't think it's that complicated. I don't know, man. Am I taking crazy pills here? Doesn't know, another sex joke? You guys are so horny today. Holy fuck, man. Why, is it because it's the weekend? Why are you so horny today? I think you're in the ground channel. This is not pools and hot tub stream, guys. And now it's the same fucking shit, like... Same fucking... It's some fucking sex shit, like, just get out of here. It's like, who gives a fuck, like... Some sex shit is some sex shit, I don't care. I'm angry, not horny? Well, that's even worse, like... Don't be too angry. I'm hungry. Me too, actually. Me too. That's just my fault, though. I didn't eat dinner yesterday. I don't know. I was in bed. I was lazy, honestly. It happens. Oh, by the way, I was right on one human. I got like a bunch of copyright claims. I knew I would. Look at the from mistakes of class ago. Okay, man. It's just every day for me. That is literally just every day. Every time I wake up, I suffer from something I done the day before. Damn. Get to chill the fuck out. The fuck knocked me? I didn't knock me up. Thank you so much for the rain! Hi! How's it going? We are chilling over here. Arihestrinko! Hello! Hello! You were playing RimWorld? Hell I am! What was RimWorld again? Every time I think of RimWorld, I think of that one game where you do exercise. Am I grown? I might be grown. What do I think about that? I am cooked. GTA San Andreas? Oh yeah, clearly. It's clearly GTA San Andreas. Narco. What? I see they're making me go insane. I'm gonna stop banning people, I'm gonna start killing people. Ban from real life. Oh, it's the colony simulator. Oh, let's see. FPS rolling in where you can do of anything. Anything to anyone. This may sound crazy, and I mean it in a way that isn't like in a way that I guess for science. But could you host a public execution in that game? There's someone calling me right now. Oh my god. 1 second. Bro, as soon as I said that shit, somebody fucking called me. What the fuck, bro? As soon as I said that shit, I got a call on my phone. They're coming for me. I know too much. It was one of those phones from Germany. Maybe I will like to know your location. Also, I hope I didn't spook Renard. I was just genuinely very curious. Get money. That's crazy, yo. But yeah, you can execute me on that game. Damn. Do you think it will be controversial to say that no, I kinda wanna play the game? I mean, they let you do a lot in the game, like remove people's legs so they can run away while you keep them prisoner and drain their blood. Not that I done that recently. I think I'm starting to like you a lot, Renard. Wanna collapse into... Oh my god. Very things I hear. Is it like a good game? Hell yeah. Oh shit. Hi guys. No legs, blue blank. Yeah, mine needs some operation like that. No lie. Leg removal. I'm gonna need some of that real soon. If anyone's to remove and you steal the other trespass in your line, holy shit. Damn. RTS games are evolving. I like that. You can fulfill your deepest fantasies. Not that that's one of my deepest fantasies. I never really like eating meat, I promise. I prefer veggies most of the time. Unless like pepperoni, then sorry. Like the spicy one. I like the pepperoni, but especially the spicy one. That's just big. Fun too, I love the first one. Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a first. That's the first time that happens. Damn, that's crazy. I'm gonna take the chance then. Might as well. Oh shit. I just let my horse alone. I picked. Yep. Sure. Hours. Respawn 2 has some funny scenarios with human sacrifice for the instructional machine. Damn. Not like me for reals. I look for a bit. I look for a bit. I need to scan food for this too late at night. Okay, thank you for the raid again. I'm glad that it went good. Sorry. The autism's kicking in. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, true. What I was gonna do earlier. I'm guessing that's the one. Yeah. The problem is that I can't see my pubs now that I see it. Wait. You. Okay. What the fuck? Boing. Okay. What do you think is a good position? Hmm.
Wherever you go.
Hmm. I don't know. Never made the rest of the fan fiction. I don't know. Kinda weird, man. Kinda weird, man. Wait, what did you use the bow? That's crazy. Damn, guys, where do I put this thing? What do you think is good? Also, I think my HP bar is literally like not even center. Did I just call it a fanfic? Yeah. Bam, 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 bam. Holy fuck, I like the noise. That sounds fucking good. That sounds so good, damn. Your manager called you? Yep. I am cooked. Is this a good position for the thing? Guys? I need your opinion. It is very important. Very important. It feels better? Does it? What is that for? Oh. Lower yes to go chat. Like that? 15 minutes. Woo. Man. I'm about to fall asleep and do it. Sleep. I need to sleep. What are you doing? You should have been sleeping. And Alicia. It's coming! Woo! Woo! Holy fuck! Also, we're gonna play Black Ops next week. It's happening. I think I tell like several people that if I wanna do that, I should do Cold War first in terms of campaign. But I'm kinda lazy to do the Cold War campaign though. Actually, wait, we didn't do it, right? We didn't do Cold War campaign. Ah, it's because I don't know, man. I remember. I'm still allowed to chat? On my end, yeah. Is YouTube long stream from chat from 10 to 11? I don't know what does that. I wonder. Yeah, let's skip Cold War because of Silent Kill. Oh, yeah. Damn. I don't regret it. I really wanted to try it out. Real unfortunate what happened with it though. Not gonna lie. It is what it is, yeah. It's okay. I'll eventually get the second computer. Like everything, it takes time. I do think that it's gonna take at least a year or two though. Minimum. Because I'm gonna be spending a lot of money on YouTube. And my hopes of it working out. Oh, I don't know the other thing well. Spellers. XP thingy. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do them. I'm maybe slightly worried because I haven't calculated the economics of it. And it's like $90 a month. Yeah, a month. For like 4 videos a month, I mean. So yeah, like 1 a week. But I haven't calculated on top of that, that's the thing. Maths are hard, bro. I don't like maths, guys. Maths are terrible. Maths out of my weakness, for sure. Always happen. I think I wanted tomorrow that time. I mean, I can probably go today. Yeah. I'm still not 100% sure about the mechanics yet, I swear. But like, I guess you have to keep breaking the thing. So like insta-kill them. It's kind of empty over here. What happened? Fucking everybody there. Jesus, or like died. And then if I play outside, I'm gonna have to do this rotation as well. Yeah. Probably, or else someone a little bit fucked. Oh, that's okay. I can just sleep. I just feel around. And then I go here, I do. And the rotation may actually be better, not gonna lie. Because I get a bunch of them together over there. More than here. I am running out of stamina though. It's very scary. Oh, but yeah, wow, okay. Yeah. I guess I'll do the rotation as well. It is crazy though, there's nobody here, like, damn. Dude, back when I played, people were constantly killing each other to be here. Constant, it was like PvP all the time. And I know because I saw it on videos, not because I did this myself. I could not even fathom farming here. It was back then. It was like the big place, like big. You know, the whole area run just came out and there were a bunch of spots. Everybody was like, okay, what's the best one? And I deserve a shit ton of money back then. Way more than he gives now. Now, well, I guess people farm me so much as like, you know, not that big anymore. But back then, man, that was big. This was the top shit, literally. No, for sure they are. They are. There's like a lot of new spots I can take it. Oh my god, there's so many spots. The problem is that, yeah, what I'm saying, on my cap, on my AP, I'm completely fucked. I'm completely fucked. Because the next cap is like 20 AP over me. Or like more than 20 AP. And the DP as well is gonna be a big problem. I think I'm more worried about my DP, honestly. Because that one is a little bit too messed up. And I need to fix it. And it's gonna take very long. But that's the thing, that the next spot that I can farm... it's gonna take a while. Needless to say. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Yeah. That's okay though. I'm not really like... I don't care for now. It will get boring eventually though, but hey, this is part of the game. It's normal. I did always wanted to reach endgame, but that's so hard. One of the cool things though is that if I was smart, I could do something that a lot of people do, which is manipulating the market. I'm not that manipulating, like, that's like a bad thing. Like using it to your advantage, like you could get rich and buy everything you want if you were able to make money over the market, like you selling, reselling and buying shit. You literally could. People do it. And people do it constantly. There are people that only play the game to manipulate the market. And I get whatever is new at the moment. Like they just think of a strategy. They get like infinite money. They get whatever is new. They know what the price. And they leave the game. They quit. They're like, alright, see you next patch. But that's like really smart people. People do it on Boy too when your season starts. I believe you, dude. I wish. I... Oh man. How to ruin my day 1-to-1. 101, sorry. Hey! Every time that happens, I feel like not coming back. The lights went out again. This time, I genuinely don't know why. Because I'm practically home alone. The only thing connected is pretty much on my computer. I guess the rat beat the ground cable. Man. 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 Oh, the cat wants to leave. Oh, but is that always fine? Oh yeah, one day I'm not gonna come back. One day I'm not gonna come back, that's for sure. I'm actually surprised there has not been a time yet when my computer has said enough. It has withstood so many lights going out, so many, dude. It's totally impressive, Ato. It's like, wow. It's still standing. My last computer would have died within 2 consecutive, of course. But yeah. It's crazy. It is. I'm not gonna wanna watch on YouTube now. I'm too pissed off at the game. Not the game, but like life in general. It's just annoying. You went into another character? This is to leave this AFK. Just because on the other one. Well, I might be dead actually. Never mind, but who cares? I just log into this one. Just one privilege, yeah, we're just gonna watch a little bit of YouTube. Kinda mad, you know. Kinda mad what happened. I don't feel like playing right now. Cause I'm gonna play angry. What the fuck? Oh shit! Um. Well, I mean, that's a bit of a problem. Oh wow, I didn't know that wasn't happen. Okay. Shit. I thought that it would lock me in on someone else. What the fuck is this? Let me get on my shy then. Fuck no! I fucked up. Actually, I don't know. Who cares? We'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know why it teleported me. That's weird. Sure though. I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't even know where the fuck I am. Jesus Christ. Oh, she has some bobs as well.
Feels like I'm flying.
That's crazy. Oh wow, you can still see the game. That's actually kind of cool. That's kind of cool. You can see the game. I literally minimized it to 3. Wow. If you have anything you rated, YouTube will be like, oh, that's a no, and delete it. It happened to me too many times. It's saying. And I have copyright claims. Have a shit ton of them. But other than that, it's okay, truly. We're not gonna watch porn. Don't worry. Do not worry. Oh man, this is gonna be a video. This is going to be a video. A video. Actually, I'm gonna just sleep video because it's on the background. Running. Yeah. Actually, shit, is because you know what I wanna do? I kinda wanna play and have the video as well. Has anybody done that before? And like comment while I farm. Because I have a strategy that I can do with my headsets. With my headphones, which is really fucking cool. And that is that I can literally stop the video when, like I was saying. Yeah. It's so cool. I can literally put it like this. Actually, yeah, I kinda wanna try that. Am I gonna log? What am I gonna log in? Will it make it harder to make YouTube videos though? Probably. I don't think I'm gonna make a YouTube video about this though. It doesn't align with my YouTube channel. Yeah, I figure. Did I lose anything? No. Okay. Sure. A good spot to put it on. Oh my god, they fucked up my UI. No way. Wait. What? Oh damn, he fucked up my UI, dude. Such. And I literally saved it too. Okay, sure. I can't say the last word of my title, by the way. Why?
Tell me if you need help.
Harry's. What did I miss? Oh, the lights went out. And guess what happened to Twitch? Well, yeah. It is what it is. Alright, let's go. Is that good enough?
I'm going to speak today about the relationship between science and human values. Now, it's generally understood that questions of morality, questions of good and evil and right and wrong, are questions about which science officially has no opinion. It's thought that science can help us get what we value, but it can never tell us what we ought to value. And consequently, most people, I think most people probably here, think that science will never answer the most important questions in human life. Questions like, what is worth living for? What is worth dying for? What constitutes a good life? So I'm going to argue that this is an illusion, that the separation between science and human values is an illusion, and actually quite a dangerous one at this point in human history. Now, it's often said that science cannot give us a foundation for morality and human values because science deals with facts, and facts and values seem to belong to different spheres. It's often thought that there's no description of the way the world is that can tell us how the world ought to be. But I think this is quite clearly untrue. But values are a certain kind of fact. They are facts about the well-being of conscious creatures. Why is it that we don't have ethical obligations toward rocks? Why don't we feel compassion for rocks? It's because we don't think rocks can suffer. And if we're more concerned about our fellow primates than we are about insects,
I don't think rocks
as indeed we are, it's because we think they're exposed to a greater range of potential happiness and suffering. Now, the crucial thing to notice here is that this is a factual claim. This is something we could be right or wrong about. And if we've misconstrued the relationship between biological complexity and the possibilities of experience, well, then we could be wrong about the inner lives of insects. Okay, and there's no notion, no version of human morality and human values that I've ever come across that is not at some point reducible to a concern about conscious experience and its possible changes. I mean, even if you get your values from religion, even if you think that good and evil ultimately relate to conditions after death, either to an eternity of happiness with God or an eternity of suffering in hell, you are still concerned about consciousness and its changes. And to say that such changes can persist after death is itself a factual claim, which, of course, may or may not be true. Now, to speak about the conditions of well-being in this life for human beings, we know that there's a continuum of such facts. We know that it's possible to live in a failed state, where everything that can go wrong does go wrong, where mothers cannot feed their children,
yeah,
where
my life
strangers
pretty
cannot
much
find
fail state.
the basis for peaceful collaboration, where people are murdered indiscriminately. And we know that it's possible to move along this continuum towards something quite a bit more idyllic, I mean, to a place where a conference like this is even conceivable. And we know that there are right and wrong answers to how to move in this space. Would adding cholera to the water be a good idea? Well, probably not. Would it be a good idea for everyone to believe in the evil eye so that when bad things happen to them, they immediately blame their neighbors? Probably not. There are truths to be known about how human communities flourish, whether or not we understand these truths. And morality relates to these truths. So in talking about values, we are talking about facts. Now, of course, our situation in the world can be understood at many levels. There's from the level of the genome, on up to the level of economic systems and political arrangements. But if we're going to talk about human well-being, we are of necessity talking about the human brain, because we know that our experience of the world and of ourselves within it is realized in the brain. Whatever happens after death, even if the suicide bomber does get 72 virgins in the afterlife, in this life, his personality, his rather unfortunate personality, is the product of his brain.
A suicide bomber.
So the contributions of culture, if culture changes us, as indeed it does, it changes us by changing our brains. And so therefore, whatever cultural variation there is in how human beings flourish can at least in principle be understood in the context of the maturing science of the mind, neuroscience, psychology, etc. So what I'm arguing is that values reduced to facts about the conscious experience of conscious beings, and we can therefore visualize a space of possible changes in the experience of these beings. And I think of this as a kind of moral landscape with peaks and valleys that correspond to differences in the well-being of conscious creatures, both personal and collective. And one thing to notice is that perhaps there are states of human well-being that we rarely access, that few people access, and these await our discovery. Perhaps some of these states can be appropriately called mystical or spiritual. Perhaps there are other states that we can't access because of how our minds are structured, but other minds possibly could access them. Now, let me be clear about what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that science is guaranteed to map this space.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That we will have scientific answers to every conceivable moral question. I don't think, for instance, that you will one day consult a supercomputer to learn whether you should have a second child, or whether we should bomb Iran's nuclear facilities,
Hell yeah,
or whether you can deduct the full cost of TED as a business expense. But if questions affect human well-being, then they do have answers, whether or not we can find them. And just admitting this, just admitting that there are right and wrong answers to the question of how humans flourish, will change the way we talk about morality, and will change our expectations of human cooperation.
Like, let's say that I fucking hate Iran. Of course I'm gonna say that's the right choice to bomb Iran. Like obviously there's an answer to why that happens. I don't know, this is me though. Like, if I love Iran, obviously I'm gonna say no. Why would we want it? Like, there's no way, it makes no sense, right? But if you fucking hate it, then you'll be more lenient to that. Depends on, like, you know? Hate is irrational though. I think hate is irrational. How do I put it? I know, it's just getting difficult to think. But like, I think hate is irrational when you are not the one in that position. Like, yeah, most it always is. But it can't become rational on your own mind, because you are the one experiencing it. So it's, I guess, collectively, it's always irrational, like love, yeah. But individually, it makes sense, because you are going through that. It's something you are going through, and you understand it. And you can even rationalize it to the point that you could even try to explain why. Even though, if like, the person is not going through the same thing, then they're never going to get it. You can individually rationalize your own experiences, for sure. But like, collectively, that's the thing. If it's something you're not going through, you're never going to be able to rationalize it.
In the future. And for instance, there are 21 states in our country where corporal punishment in the classroom is legal, where it is legal for a teacher to beat a child with a wooden board,
makes sense there.
hard, raising large bruises and blisters and even breaking the skin. And hundreds of thousands of children, incidentally, are subjected to this every year. The locations of these enlightened districts, I think, will fail to surprise you. We're not talking about Connecticut. And the rationale for this behavior is explicitly religious. The creator of the universe himself has told us not to spare the rod lest we spoil the child. This is in Proverbs 13 and 20 and I believe 23.
You enjoy this code?
But
I mean, the video right now, not really.
Okay,
I'm not really enjoying it.
Is it a good idea,
Because the guy's going
generally
into a
speaking,
huge tangent
to
that I don't really
subject
care
children
about?
to pain
So I already
and violence
made my
and
result
public
with all that.
humiliation
I
as a
kinda
way
know
of encouraging
already.
healthy emotional development and good behavior?
Is it what's in a video where you
Okay,
already know what's gonna
Is there
happen?
any doubt that this question has an answer
And now,
and
like,
that
you
it
already
matters?
watched this video type of shit. This
Now,
is what I do
many
on
of you
my
might
off
worry
stream,
that
by
the
the way.
notion of well-being is truly
This is what I
undefined
do.
and seemingly perpetually
I put a
open
video,
to be
I
reconstrued.
grind.
And so then how, therefore, can there be an objective notion of well-being? Well, consider by analogy the concept of physical health. I mean, the concept of physical health is undefined. As we just heard
Someone
from Michael
requested
Spector,
it?
it
I
has
just put it
changed
as an
over the
idea.
years. When this statue was carved, the average life expectancy was probably 30. It's now around 80 in the developed world. There may come a time when we meddle with our genomes in such a way that not being able to run a marathon at age 200 will be considered a profound disability. You know, people will send you donations when you're in that condition.
I don't know about that.
Notice that the fact that the concept of health is open, genuinely open for revision, does not make it vacuous. Okay, the distinction between a healthy person and a dead one is about as clear and consequential as any we make in science. Now, another thing to notice is there may be many peaks on the moral landscape. There may be equivalent ways to thrive. Okay, there may be equivalent ways to organize a human society so as to maximize human flourishing. Now, why wouldn't this undermine an objective morality? Well, think of how we talk about food.
You should also put some
I would never be
for
tempted
somewhere.
to argue to you
You got
that
my
there must be
keyboard.
one right
Virtual
food to
keyboard on the
eat.
left.
There's clearly a range of materials that constitute healthy food. But there's nevertheless a clear distinction between food and poison. Okay, the fact that there are many right answers to the question, what is food, does not tempt us to say that there are no truths to be known about human nutrition. Now, many people worry that a universal morality would require moral precepts that admit of no exceptions. So, for instance, if it's really wrong to lie, it must always be wrong to lie. And if you can find an
Like this in my
exception,
nightmare?
well, then there's no such thing as moral truth. Now, why would
Sorry.
we think this? Consider, by analogy, the game of chess. Now, if you're going to play good chess, a principle like don't lose your queen is very good to follow. Okay, but it clearly admits an exception.
What?
There are moments where losing your queen is a brilliant thing to do.
There's some
There are moments
bad
where it's the
tips.
only good thing you can do. And yet, chess is a domain of perfect objectivity. The fact that there are exceptions
I didn't know
here
that it was
does
a bad
not,
version
does
of
not
it.
change that at all.
I've-
Now, this brings us to the sorts of moves that people are apt to make in the moral sphere. Okay? Consider the great problem of women's bodies.
What about
What
this?
to
Yeah,
do
that
about
makes a lot more sense than we
Well, this
used
is
to.
one thing you can do about them.
What I
You
hear
can cover them
anyways.
up. Now, it is the position, generally speaking, of our intellectual community that, while we might not like this, we might think of this as wrong in Boston or Palo Alto. Who are we to say that the proud denizens of an ancient culture are wrong to force their wives and daughters to live in cloth bags? I mean, who are we to say even that they're wrong to beat them with lengths of steel cable or throw battery acid in their faces if they decline the privilege of being smothered in this way? Okay, well, who are we not to say this? Who are we to pretend that we know so little about human well-being that we have to be non-judgmental about a practice like this? I'm not talking about voluntary wearing of a veil. I mean, women should be able to wear whatever they want as far as I'm concerned. But what does voluntary mean in a community where when a girl gets raped, her father's first impulse, rather often, is to murder her out of shame?
Holy shit, like fucking
Just let that
animals.
fact detonate in your brain for a minute. Your daughter gets raped,
Animals do
and
that.
what you want to do is kill her. What are the chances that represents a peak of human flourishing? Now, to say this is not to say that we have got the perfect solution in our own society.
And like hearing his fucking breathing is like, oh my God.
This is what it's like to go to a newsstand almost anywhere in the civilized world. Now, granted, for many men, it may require a degree in philosophy to see something wrong with these images. But if we are in a reflective mood, we can ask, is this the perfect expression of psychological balance with respect to variables like youth and beauty and women's bodies? I mean, is this the optimal environment in which to raise our children? Probably not. Okay, so perhaps there's some place on the spectrum between these two extremes that represents a place of better balance.
Is this guy discriminating? Okay. I mean, I think killing your daughter because she got raped,
perhaps there are many such places.
It's a bad thing.
Again, given other changes in human culture, there may be many peaks on the moral landscape.
It's a bad thing. That's just me,
the thing to notice is that there'll be many more ways not to be on a peak.
I kind of know.
The irony, from my perspective, is the only people who seem to generally agree with me and who think that there are right and wrong answers to moral questions are religious demagogues of one form or another. And of course, they think they have right answers to moral questions because they got these answers from a voice in a whirlwind. Okay, not because they made an intelligent analysis of the causes and condition of human and animal well-being. And in fact, the endurance of religion as a lens through which most people view moral questions has separated most moral talk from real questions of human and animal suffering. This is why we spend our time talking about things like gay marriage and not about genocide or nuclear proliferation or poverty or any other hugely consequential issue. But the demagogues are right about one thing. We need a universal conception of human values.
So you're noticing a peak,
now, what stands in the way of this? Well, one thing to notice is that we do something different when talking about morality, especially secular, academic, scientist types. When talking about morality, we value differences of opinion in a way that we don't in any other area of our lives. So, for instance, the Dalai Lama gets up every morning meditating on compassion. And he thinks that helping other human beings is an integral component of human happiness. Okay, on the other hand, we have someone like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was very fond of abducting and raping and torturing and killing young women. Okay, so we appear to have a genuine difference of opinion about how to profitably use one's time.
And Bill was full? I don't know.
Most Western intellectuals look at this situation and say, well, there's nothing for the Dalai Lama to be really right about, or for Ted Bundy to be really wrong about, that admits of a real argument that potentially falls within the purview of science. Okay, that he likes chocolate, he likes vanilla. There's nothing that one should be able to say to the other that should persuade the other. Now notice that we don't do this in science. On the left you have Edward Witten. He's a string theorist. If you ask the smartest physicists around, who's the smartest physicist around, in my experience, half of them will say Ed Witten. The other half will tell you they don't like the question. So, what would happen if I showed up at a physics conference and said string theory is bogus? You know, it doesn't resonate with me. It's not how I choose to view the universe at the smallest scale. I'm not a fan. Okay, well, nothing would happen because I'm not a physicist. I don't understand string theory. I'm the Ted Bundy of string theory. Okay? I wouldn't want to belong to any string theory club that would have me as a member. Okay? But this is just the point. Okay? Whenever we are talking about facts, certain opinions must be excluded. That is what it is to have a domain of expertise. That is what it is for knowledge to count. How have we convinced ourselves that in the moral sphere there is no such thing as moral expertise, or moral talent, or moral genius even? How have we convinced ourselves that every opinion has to count? How have we convinced ourselves that every culture has a point of view on these subjects?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's a personal problem.
Does the Taliban have a point of view on physics that is worth considering?
When it comes to stuff like politics.
No. Okay. How is their ignorance?
You don't have to give a fuck about what anyone says.
How is their ignorance any less obvious
That's
on the
just
subject
me,
of
though.
human well-being.
For me, not every opinion matters. I don't think everybody has a voice for everything.
So this, I think, is what the world needs now. It needs people like ourselves
Like, for example,
to admit that there
for example, mentally ill people that are clearly mentally ill and they don't have like a good understanding of what's happening on the world, and you can tell. And then you don't even have to ask them. That type of, you don't even need to ask anything. They just talk and you know right away. Like flat earthers, depends on what, like I can, like, might be like a hot take, but I think flat earthers can be smart in a lot of ways. They just think of a dumb thing, like the earth is flat, so like, if you ask them anything about science, they're probably gonna be wrong. And even so, they could still be right sometimes. A broken clock is right at least twice a day. But like, if, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could be smart in some ways. Now, if they have an opinion about the earth, and they think the earth is flat, well, their opinion doesn't matter. If it's an opinion about something else, then it could matter. You know? So it depends. Yeah, like, yeah, for sure. Like, if we were, like, cutting everybody for, like, whatever opinion because they are ignorant or, like, they're stupid in one way or another, we shouldn't let Christians vote. Or, like, anybody religious vote. Just because we think scientifically there's no way Jesus Christ existed, we shouldn't do that. Right? So yeah, I think everybody has a right to speak in some aspects, some things, not everything. There will be times where there will be people that will not have the right to have an opinion. Or they will have the right to have an opinion, but like, they shouldn't, like, you shouldn't take their opinion as valid as like somebody else. Like, for example, let's say we're talking about, again, the earth. And one is a person that, I don't know what their science is called, but they basically study the earth and like the atmosphere and like all this shit. And the other one is a flat earther, whose opinion will have more value. That's what it comes to. That's what it ends being as. Like, yeah. One will have a more valid opinion.
are right and wrong answers to questions of human flourishing. And morality relates to that domain of facts. It is possible for individuals and even for whole cultures to care about the wrong things.
So
Which
I
is
love
to
that
say
I can
it's
just
possible for
stop
them
it
to have
whenever
beliefs and
it's so
desires
cool.
that reliably lead to needless human suffering. Just admitting
It does
this
mute everything,
will
but I don't care,
transform
'cause
our
I think it
discourse
muted
about
anyways.
morality. Okay, we live in a world in which the boundaries between nations mean less and less, and they will one day mean nothing.
Hopefully.
We live in a world filled with destructive technology, and this technology
That would
cannot
be
be
really cool.
uninvented. It will always be easier to break things than to fix them.
I think that's the right
Okay,
choice.
it seems to me, therefore, patently obvious that
One
we can
nation.
no more respect and tolerate vast differences
This is
in
my
notions of human
opinion.
well-being than we can respect or tolerate
come with
vast
problems,
differences
obviously, like,
in the notions about how disease
Let's
spreads.
not even talk about that.
Or
Like,
in
they
the
want to put
safety
it will come out of
standards
that.
of buildings and airplanes. We simply must converge on the answers we give to the most important questions in human life. And to do that, we have to admit that these questions have answers. Thank you very much.
That's it. That was it.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a little bit more. Bro, that was kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
It went in huge
So,
tangents.
Some combustible material
Let's see.
there. Whether in this
This is not
audience
over.
or people elsewhere in the world hearing some of this, may well be doing the screaming with rage thing after as well, some of them. Language seems to me is really important here. When you're talking about the veil, you're talking
that's
about
true.
women dressed in cloth bags. You know, I've lived in the Muslim world, spoken with a lot of Muslim women, and some of them would say something else. They would say, no, you know, this is a celebration of female specialness. It helps build that, and it's an expression, it's a result of the fact that, and this is arguably a sophisticated psychological view, that male lust is not to be trusted.
Right.
I mean, can you engage in a conversation with that kind of woman without seeing kind of cultural imperialist?
Yeah, well, I think this is, I tried to broach this in a sentence watching the clock ticking, but the question is, what is voluntary in a context where men have certain expectations and certain, and you're guaranteed to be treated in a certain way if you don't veil yourself. And so if anyone in this room wanted to wear a veil or a very funny hat or tattoo their faces, or I mean, I think we should be free to voluntarily do whatever we want, but we have to be honest about the constraints that these women are placed under. And so I think we shouldn't be so eager to always take their word for it, especially in, when it's 120 degrees out and you're wearing a full burqa.
Yeah.
A lot of people, want to believe in this concept of moral progress.
I mean, that's the same thing as
reconcile that? I think I understood you to say that you could reconcile that with a world that doesn't become one-dimensional, where we all have to think the same. Paint your picture of what, rolling the clock 50 years forward, 100 years forward, how you would like to think of the world, balancing moral progress with richness.
Well, I think once you admit that we are on path toward understanding our minds at the level of the brain in some important detail, then you have to admit that we are going to understand all of the positive and negative qualities of ourselves in much greater detail. So we're going to understand positive social emotion, like empathy and compassion. And we're going to understand the factors that encourage it, whether they're genetic, whether they're how people talk to one another, whether they're economic systems. And insofar as we begin to shine light on that, we're inevitably going to converge on
like maybe not in our lifetime.
So everything is not going to be up for grabs. It's not going to be like, veiling my daughter from birth is just as good as
people forget there's something called small steps
to be confident and well-educated in the context of men who do desire women.
No.
So it's I mean, I don't think we need an NSF grant to know that veiling, compulsory veiling, is a bad idea.
Individually, people will evolve over the years.
We're going to be able to scan the brains of everyone involved and actually interrogate them.
New babies, new kids, everything. They'll think differently too. They wouldn't have the prejudice of like old people.
I think they're clearly right answers to that.
And if the results come out that actually
we will evolve.
Are you prepared to shift your instinctive current judgment on some of these issues?
Well, yeah, modulo one obvious fact that you can love someone in the context of a truly delusional belief system, so that you can say, like, because I knew my gay son was going to go to hell if he found a boyfriend, I chopped his head off, and that was the most compassionate thing I can do. If you get all those parts aligned, yes, I think you could probably be feeling the emotion of love. But again, then we have to talk about well-being in a larger context. And it's all of us in this together. It's not one man feeling ecstasy and then blowing himself up on a bus.
Sam, this is a conversation I would actually love to continue for hours. We don't have that, but maybe another time. Thank you for coming to TED.
Really an honor.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're canceling this man. It's over. It's so fucking over. I think it was an interesting video. I'm sorry, I find it kind of boring. I don't know. I guess because I already know all about this. I didn't really learn anything.
Rags, the magical talking dog,
Let's see this one though.
recommended a video. It is the truth about all the 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know. He went in like 2 huge tangents.
There is
that went too far away from like the main thing, and then he just picked up near the end.
If this is a 22-minute video that is going to echo the journo claim that the reason there are so many 7 out of 10s is because, look, there are a lot of games. They don't have time to review all the games. So they pick the hottest ones, the ones with the most buzz, the most interesting ones, and that means things skew towards the top end of the scale because they're deliberately picking exciting ones that, you know, have been filtered somewhat.
When have
By
you the
scrutiny
original
of the
video?
public doesn't
Of
care
this
about games
one?
that look bad and are likely to be bad, so we review the games that are more likely to be good, and that's why we give
Does
so
the
many
Pinot
7 out of
Grande
10s. And that's
I can't believe it's happened again.
There we go.
I'm sick of
Sorry,
seeing it.
I'm not looking at the screen,
It
guys.
haunts me. It's in my nightmares. It's in all of my waking hours. It's everywhere. The number 7. Another
And-
games journalist has given another video game a 7 out of 10. And today I'm going to tell you why that's fairly common, actually, because there
They're all
is
the
like
fucking
a pretty
same,
good
just
reason
like
for it,
woman.
or maybe not necessarily a good reason. I'm not trying to color this reason in any direction. It's just a reason that you see 7 out of 10s as being common, to the extent where we now sometimes refer to 7 as like an average, which is weird, but let me just explain. First, if you don't know me, sometimes people meme on me
there's
for
multiple
mentioning this, but
reasons.
you'd be surprised the amount of people who comment on my videos who don't even know what my current job is and assume that I'm a full-time YouTuber, let alone a
Wasn't
job
she
I
a
used to
game
have, so that's why I
journalist?
sometimes say it. Turns out people
I
don't know
think
stuff.
so.
And I used to work at IGN. I was a writer
Yeah.
there for 3
I
whole
figure.
years, which makes me exceptionally qualified. The most professional, lauded source on the internet, educated to such a high degree. I started, and I feel like that really sells it. The one
I've seen
person
a
on the
pepper
planet
spot.
equipped to
A
tell
nice gun,
you
too.
that step 1 before we get into the rest
Nice
of this video,
pistol.
some of y'all take game reviews way too seriously. I will explain why the 7 out of 10 is so common and why it's memed because it's so common and that it doesn't make sense. I feel like so many conversations about game reviews would be like so much more chill if you
Depends.
just remember that it's just some fucking guy's opinion. I used to be that fucking guy. It's just some fucking guy has an opinion on something. That's all a game review is. The fucking guy who writes the review is no more or less
People
qualified.
do forget that, dude. Isn't that crazy? We take things as a fact over time. When something is out for so long, and it feels very official, we just take everything for granted. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's some random ass guy that it has an opinion about something. Yeah, sure, he plays games. Like, when you come to think about it, he really doesn't really play games that deeply. Will you really call yourself a gamer in most of the games you play? You barely get out of the tutorial. Will you really call yourself a gamer? That's why people believe on YouTubers more, because they get the time that these people don't get, by the way. Which is another problem, these people don't get the same time. Like, play a game, try the game out. That's the difference. Like, sure, just talks about a game, like, the amount of time he has, like, he probably didn't even really have the time to get to the good parts. He only experienced the pain. Like, hating in them? I kinda know. It really isn't their fault either. Some of them, yeah. Some of them are actually, like, really stupid. Like, some of them do go on Twitter and they say how much they hate gamers. But that's a minority. Most of them are just abused by their directors and shit. And they really never had time to even play games. So, like, it's a very hard situation. Some of them, they deserve the hate and they should be fired, though. Not all of them, though.
Qualified to have an opinion on any other fucking guy on the street about a game. That is my genuine opinion. That is the opinion that I held when I did it and got paid for it. I personally do not consider game reviews to be journalism, even though they technically are by definition of the word. But again, it's just
Yeah, they're
some
not.
fucking guy's opinion, man. And they certainly are not objective and do not strive to be and shouldn't be because they are opinion-based. They are not reporting. They're just, oh, fucking guy has an
Yeah,
opinion.
they're not being
Needs to be clear before
critical. They're not
somebody
being
gets upset
critical.
with me. Not being sexist here. Women can
Like,
also
they
be
try
some
to
fucking
pretend to
guy.
be, but they're
Like
not
I said, I used to
critical.
be some fucking guy. Gender neutral. It's really just that the guy who does it for IGN has an editorial policy that he has to abide by, probably has more writing experience than the average
being
person,
critical?
and more people
They're
will read it.
trying
But
to
that
be
is really
critical.
the only difference. No one's
they don't
opinion
have,
on a video
like-
game is any more or less valid than anybody else.
This is what we were talking about before. Will you trust this guy that played the game for 15 minutes? Or will you trust the guy that finished the game with every ending? Some opinions matter less than others, depending on the context.
The only exception to that, and like I feel that way about films and stuff too, the only exception to that is when, in my opinion, someone who has a ton of expertise is the one reviewing something. Tarantino, not just some fucking guy. Miyazaki, Hideo Kojima, not just some fucking guy. They go
just some fucking
beyond
guy.
the sphere of some
I don't know
fucking
that
guy
guy.
in
Fuck
which
is that?
all of the rest of us exist, but
I
otherwise,
keep seeing the guy on
100%
my
of us,
fucking Twitter
IGN,
every day. He's still making a game.
kind of funny.
I don't know
You
what
in my
game.
comment section, we're all just some fucking guy. It's actually pretty crazy when you think about it. Like, really, the whole world is just run by just a guy. Like, what are any of us doing? Think about how many things you don't know how to do or how many mistakes that you've made, and you're still here, and that's just the same as the rest of us. None of us have any idea what's really going on. We're just some fucking guy who got a job. There it is. Okay, but first, 7 out of 10. Why is it so common? Why does it feel like 7 out of 10 has become the average video game score, at the very least, in the
Let's
AAA
see.
gaming space? Why is everything a 7 out of 10? Why is it so common?
Let's figure it out.
What happened
Let's
to the
get to
other
it.
half of the scale? Why aren't we using it? In my opinion, it actually is because 7 out of 10 kind of has become average for AAA games, but maybe not for the reasons that most people would think. Important to note, before we get into this, that different websites do have different scales. A 9 for IGN is not the same as a 9 for some other website. You have any feelings about reviews that you look up what their individual scales mean. One thing that I see people mistake all the time is that they think a 10 out of 10 is a perfect score or that it's a perfect game. For IGN, for example, a 10 does not mean perfect. It just means masterpiece, because no game is perfect except for Portal, and maybe also Deadly Premonition, and Doom 93, and
Black
Tunic.
Myth Wukong.
But that's the list of perfect video games completed. Unless you
Yeah,
have anything to add,
sure.
editor of this video, Jacob Fullerton. The floor is yours.
Gungan Frontier. All your favorite characters are there. You get to play with Fombas and Falumpa sets and plant trees on the moon. And the UI is a clam. 10 out of 10. Perfect game.
There we go. Comprehensive list of perfect video games. No, really, none exist. 10 out of 10 means masterpiece, right? It is a masterpiece. It doesn't mean it's perfect. But for whatever website that you read
But
reviews
it's
from
time,
or whatever
yeah.
discourse you're involved in, I recommend checking out their individual
Masterpiece
scales.
only
And if you look at a
applies
7 on the IGN
for
scale,
its
7 means
time.
good. Not great, just good. When I worked there and I reviewed video games and movies and stuff sometimes, Dan Stapleton, the executive editor of reviews at IGN, told me to treat what score I would have if I was having trouble as what would I say if someone walked up to me on the street and asked. So a 7 would be, yeah, it's good. It's not great. It's good. It's good. Because to be
For its time, I think Black Myth Wukong is a masterpiece.
honest, assigning a score to however many thousand words you've written where you try to really explain every single nuance of this thing and why you do or don't like it is extremely difficult and sucky,
it's a
but it's
9
just
out of
really
10.
important to audiences. Like, it gets clearly so much engagement from these websites. People want the opinions distilled into a little number. It generates so much discourse. It generated
Pay-per-views? I
this
know.
video, technically, and probably many videos
Game of the Year?
about 7 out of 10
Oh, no.
or 10 out of 10 game reviews that exist on this platform. Audiences clearly are very attached to the review score. For writers,
One of
it
them for
sucks.
sure,
So when you're
yeah.
having trouble being like, I don't
Now,
know what
number
these words
one?
distill to, how am I going to figure that out?
I don't
A
know.
good way to do it is, what would you say someone came up to you on the street? So a 7 is, it's good. It's not great. It's good.
I know
And firstly,
Silent
that
Hills is
does
at the
encompass a
bottom.
lot of video games,
That I can tell
especially
you.
when you're a reviewer. People who review games or play games professionally are, by virtue of the thing that is their job, playing a lot more video games than most people. Now, before you get mad at me for that, it's just that they're allowed to do it during work hours. So they're playing more video games than every other human who has a job that is not in the games industry because they're allowed to play games at work. So, like, by default, they have more hours on any given day in which they can/are playing video games. But because the average games journalist is able to play more video games than the average reader, it's kind of another reason that a review is just some fucking guy's opinion. What somebody who has played 1,000 games thinks of a game is inherently going to be different to what somebody who's only played 100 games thinks of a game, because you are coming into
That's
that
true.
with that wealth of knowledge, experience, and those set your expectations. Like, you might find something bland or generic because you've played 10 other games like it. If someone has played less games than you, they may not feel that way. Imagine somebody playing Star Wars Outlaws as their very first Ubisoft game. I myself was like, I'm kind of burnt out of Star Wars. I'm kind of burnt out with the Ubisoft formula right now. This feels very samey. It's not grabbing me. So I tried and I decided that I wasn't going to play any more of it. But someone who's never played a Ubisoft game before might be like, holy shit, this is crazy. What is this? We're all just a bunch of
Yeah.
guys who have just fucking opinions. It's all so subjective. And it's impossible not to be subjective. You're inherently bringing
It
all
is
of the
what it is,
experiences that
man.
you have had into every opinion that you form on pretty much everything. And that's why reviews are what they are. They're just an opinion. Secondly, I think there's a misconception that 5 is supposed
There
to
are
be
many
an average
games
on the
fucking
scales
that I thought
where
they were the
it
top
doesn't,
shit
at least
because
not
I
on
never
any of that
played
I've ever
anything
seen.
else.
A 5 for IGN means mediocre. They describe it as something that is bland and
And now that I play
unremarkable,
so many
and
more
I
games, I
guess
can
with
tell
that
the difference
definition,
a
I
lot
wouldn't be
better.
like super uncomfortable personally categorizing Star Wars Outlaws that way, maybe. I haven't played enough that I feel confident saying that. But that becomes complicated when you realize how many games do fit below the 5 category, and that's kind of the point of this video. 5 is not actually baseline average, and it makes sense that most scores that
Did you
these
play
outlets give are going to be
Hollis and
above a
Co-op?
5
I've
because in
already?
comparison to the amount of video games that come out,
I
the
don't know.
AAA games that people are playing, the
I
games that are
told
popular
you.
enough for people to even be talking about them, for somebody to need to write a review about them, are going to be in that upper category. Like, there are so many video games that come out. But the truth is, most games that release are very, 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 very flawed. Most games that come out don't even have an inch of the complexity that you see in something like Star Wars Outlaws. And you may take that with some kind of like offense, as though you think that Star Wars Outlaws is not complex. And that would be totally fair if you compare it to everything else that you play. But if you compare it to the games that come out, it has incredibly complex systems. Most games aren't even close to that level of complexity. Most games that release have one song, they have maybe 2 inputs, they have very few mechanics, they're just, you kind of press the same button over and over and over again. A lot of them crash all the time. They're very buggy. Sometimes they don't even have music. Most games that come out do not have even like an inch of the complexity or nuance that you are used to in AAA video games. Bad UI, unintuitive controls, just all of the things that net them somewhere between 1 to 5 on a game review scale. That means that they kind of need the space for the 5 to 10 for the other games. We're basically at a point where hundreds, if not thousands, of games are released every single day, usually from one-person teams who do not do it full time. You don't even hear about these games, but I'm going to do an experiment for you all right now. I'm going to boot up the 3 most recent releases on Steam and play them for you right now. I don't know what they are. This is not rehearsed.
How many 8 out of 10s have you seen on game reviews? Me personally? 0. I've never seen an 8 out of 10.
Not going to be the games on the bestsellers list, just the most recent releases, new releases on Steam, and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about, of like what majority of video games that release actually.
I don't watch them, even if you
Okay,
don't watch
everybody,
them,
I've
you see
downloaded
them.
the 3 most recent releases on Steam.
What is
They
that?
are Doll
Even if I
Catching
don't watch
Simulator,
them.
Future Breach, Youngblood,
I can
which is
tell
free to play,
everywhere.
so that's pretty cool, and Zool Dungeon. Let's start with Doll Catching Simulator.
I guess because I look at games.
It immediately crashed. Tried to change the aspect ratio and it immediately crashed. This time it didn't even have a menu. Cat? Oh, AD key, switch the claw machine. Enter key select. Okay, here we go. Enter key inserts coins. Enter. AD
Bro, what the
keys move.
fuck are you playing, bro? ¿Y ves llena de garbage?
This was
Yeah.
physics, which is actually
We
pretty
now
cool.
know why, though.
Enter.
And it might
Just like in real life,
James.
they've nailed it, to be honest. Pick it up, pick it up. We got a cat! Huge!
Woo, let's
Am I the
go!
world's first, what was it called? Doll Catching Simulator speedrunner? I might be. I feel like that's maybe it. I did get a couple of cats. Look at me go. I like this. This is cool. That is Doll Catching Simulator. It functions, to be honest, very simple. The art is not great, but it works. 7 out of 10. Next, we have
7 out of 10.
Zool Dungeon. I have no idea what this is. Trap? Zool, not enough. Unlock trap first. Okay, okay. Right click to spawn your monster. Click him. Spawn him. Click him. Spawn him. What's the timer for? Why am I being timed? The surviving hunter, 100 destroy hunter camp. I'm earning money, I think, maybe? Oh, this text. Increase base HP, PT on summon. Increase movement speed on... Oh, yeah, okay. I can wait. I can give him little buffs. That's cool. So now we got like a jacked up Hobu. Am I trying to kill these guys? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Dude, I could not
I think this is... Maybe I just spawn these in
like
to
an
kill these
ironically
dudes.
play
Oh,
this,
did I
bro.
lose?
What is that, Dan?
Well, that's Zool Dungeon. Compelling. Last but not least is Future Youngblood, a game that is apparently made with Unity. Game? Hello, this is a preview build to
shit,
show the
this
initial
sounds
gameplay
scary,
versions
bro.
will... Oh, okay.
Fuck is he gonna play?
I can't do this one. As it turns out, Future Breach Youngblood was just a demo, so I'm gonna go back to the Steam library, or the Steam store rather, and we will get deep in the dungeon. I need
Let's
to reach floor
go!
240 to escape from here. Okay, I like the music. Not something I could see myself playing for a super long time. at this rate, but it's really just arrow keys, which means you can move through it pretty fast, and it's, you know what, it's pretty fun. It's not bad. You get the idea. Probably the top 10 looks like that kind of thing. Maybe even more than that. And websites like IGN have to effectively reserve the lower half of their scales for those games because those games exist. They just very rarely review them because most people don't know what they are. Like if people aren't searching for them, people aren't really trying to figure out if they need to buy them or not, so you don't really need to write a review for them. But in case one goes viral, like the day before, for example, very bad basic video game, they still need to have that bottom half of the scale there for those games. And when you consider how many games are like that, it starts to make a little more sense why you keep seeing AAA games on the other half of the scale. Like, that's the breadth of the scale that is being considered. AAA games are inherently a lot more complex than majority of the games that come out every day, so they are far, far, far more deserving of the top 5 part of that scale. The scale is not just AAA. Does that make sense? Am I articulating this? I remember when Diablo 4 got massively review bombed by the user ratings, maybe a month or so after it came out, which was deserved. They made some disappointing changes, but people...
Maybe there should be a different scale that, like, it's only for AAA games. Like, games that are put a lot of money into them. I think there should be a different one, yeah. There should be, like, an indie scale of, like, small development teams and, like, a AAA scale. I think that will solve the problem. Even, well, it wouldn't solve it, but it will be like a band-aid to a bigger problem. But it will do something other than just keep it how it is right now. Because like you can't expect the same from a company that has spent 500 millions in a game than a company that has spent 5,000.
Were giving it like a 2 out of 10 and calling games journals shills because they weren't giving it 2 out of 10. But when you see the games that I just showed you and then you compare it to something like Diablo 4, which has complex systems and enemies and classes and a ton of progression and music and sound design and art, you can see why it doesn't really exist in the same realm as a lot of the 2s that come out every day. I mean, it was functional and it had this cool feature where you could actually play it for more than 5 minutes without being extremely bored. Basically, Steam is full of a lot of things that like barely count as video games or what the general public understands a video game to be, and most of them aren't even really worth reviewing, but the scale has to still exist for them. And it's like, I get why if you've only played AAA games, if you only played really, really popular games that do rise above, you know, the schlock of majority of the stuff that comes out, that you would have a skewed perception of what the scale looks like. Your scale is probably different to the scale of some other fucking guy based on just what you've played, where reviewers often have played a lot of stuff that falls on the lower half of that scale and is the reason the lower half of that scale exists. I think you could pretty easily make a case that they should just not touch those lower half games at all, and that you could like have a scale just for AAA games and they could be two separate things. But I think that would also be pretty complicated to explain to audiences in a lot of cases, where I feel like it's probably easier to explain, no, a 0 or a 1 or a 2 is for games that don't function. Diablo 4 making changes that negatively impact the game didn't make it completely non-functional, or didn't make it so that the only thing you could do was like play a claw machine. You know what I mean? But yeah, you could certainly argue for that if you wanted to. Go ahead. I'm just explaining why it currently exists the way that it does. And to be clear, I'm not trying to defend IGN in making this video in any capacity. Even when I worked there, they had game reviews come out that I staunchly disagreed with. When I worked there, they had the Doom 2016 review, which was written by a freelancer who gave it was like an insane low score. Yeah, it was a 7.1. For Doom 2016. And I remember like everyone in the office being like, do not fucking agree with that at all. But it was from Joe Gilroy, who did not even work in the IGN office, a total freelancer. I don't think he even wrote for IGN very often, like maybe 1 or 2 times, I'm not actually sure. But like they've certainly had review scores that I fundamentally disagree with. And that's just sort of the reality of reviews being just written by some fucking guy. But yes, this is essentially why you might feel like you see so many review scores that are above a 5, or you feel like the lower half of the scale is being underutilized. It's why 7s feel like it might be average, and why I've heard people like call to change the 7 to a 5. But it's just when you factor in games that you probably haven't played or probably haven't heard of, the bottom of the scale gets very, very, very full very fast, and your AAA games start to look a whole lot better in comparison. And finally, I know that this isn't going to sway anybody who like already feels some way about this, but just to establish it, no publisher is giving an IGN reviewer a bunch of money to influence a
Depends on
review
review
score.
in
There
the
are
end.
ways that companies try to manipulate positive review scores in ways that I think are extremely egregious and actually
Yeah,
far
they
worse
do.
than I
They
think the
do.
general public
They
realizes.
do.
Like, this stuff is
Yeah.
huge. I'm gonna make a whole
They
separate video about this. I was
fucking
gonna put
do,
it in
man.
this video, but then it's like too many topics in one video. It's a lot. I will make a separate video about basically like publishers, companies trying to influence people to get positive reviews and the manipulative tactics that are used for that. There is so much to say and so much to unpack. But where just handing somebody money to give a game a score,
it.
which, by the way, as an aside, I've seen people recently
It is
suggest that
out.
IGN was paid to give Star Wars Outlaws the 7 out of 10. Why would Ubisoft pay for a 7? A 7? If you're paying a reviewer, you couldn't just slip them, like, you know, company like Ubisoft with a shit ton of money, just like another 50 grand or whatever the fuck, and be like, just make it a 10. Why would they pay for a 7? But handing somebody money to give any reviews.
The reason why they will pay for a 7 and not a 10 is because if they paid for a 10 and then they put a 10, then it will be very obvious they're getting paid on the back. If they put a 7, it's not as obvious, you know? Like, people see a 7 are like, alright, well, it probably isn't that bad. But if you put a 10, it's gonna be so obvious. The louds are gonna be insane. That's why they don't put a 10.
Score is extremely illegal. And these companies have giant legal teams who are so hardcore and so intense about this kind of stuff. Their whole job is to prevent the company from getting sued or getting fined. That is the job of these legal departments. I've worked with some of these legal departments. They are annoyingly hardcore. Stupid legal rules where they try to avoid getting sued for the dumbest shit that you're like, nobody's gonna sue you for that. And they're like, doesn't matter, somebody could, so don't do it. Paying somebody to have positive sentiment, even if you disclose it, is illegal. Did you know that? So like, if I do a sponsored ad here on YouTube, they cannot ask me to say something that I don't believe. They are not allowed to ever say, hey, can you say this sentence? I think I've received pushback on that maybe once where they were like, can you say that? And I was like, I don't feel that way. And they had to be like, okay. They are not allowed to do that. That is very, very, very illegal and taken very, very seriously. So paying for positive sentiment without disclosure is going to get you fined, but even with disclosure, also going to get you fined. Like, extremely illegal, again, taken very seriously. And asking games journalists specifically to lie about review scores, I think, is one of the dumbest things that a company could possibly do. Like, that's going to come out so fast if it were actually happening. It's an industry full of people who are so poorly paid and are often very bored with the stuff that they're able to write from an industry that gives them like no information about anything and is constantly withholding things and just making them like rehash press releases because the games industry is so cagey about information. Frankly, they are desperate a lot of the time to write the article that gets their name out there or gets views or makes people like them. It gives them the prestige of breaking this huge conspiracy news story. Like, so many, I would say 90% of people who work in that games media industry would be frothing, chomping at the bit at the opportunity to leak this story. If it were happening, it would have leaked 1,000 times over. And I actually don't doubt that it was happening in the 90s and 2000s before a lot of the more strict regulations came in. Of course, companies are going to try to do it. They just can't anymore. And publishers do have other ways of trying to influence review scores. Like I said, I'll have a whole separate video about that. But they are not giving game reviewers money to give games a 10 out of 10. Again, just like think about everything you've ever disagreed with somebody on. Think about the dumbest fucking thing that you've seen on the internet that you disagreed with somebody on. Your toilet paper. You put it over or under. Heated disagreements about that stuff. Over is correct, by the way. Anyone who puts it under, I will literally in your house, if I see that you have the toilet paper under, I will change it in your house. I don't care. You and some fucking guy are gonna have different opinions. It's boring, but it's true. And as an aside, on my own aside, I promise you, if I ever find any evidence or any even suggestion that game reviewers are being paid off, I will tell you in a heartbeat. I would get so many subscribers. People would be so happy with me. I would get so many views, so much credibility. She finally outed it. Wow, look at this person go. That's my epics. Instead, I'm doing my routinely dumb bitch move of telling you the truth that I know most of you probably don't want to hear. Not most of you. It's just the ones who don't want to hear it really don't want to hear it and are definitely going to get mad at me in the comment sections of this video. I'm aware of that. In fact, I will probably lose subscribers for this video. I actively reject the proven to be excellent strategy of saying the thing the masses would like to hear and make the controversial video that will force people to yell at me. All that to say, it would be a lot easier for me, or as someone who actually does work in media, to come out and say reviewers are being paid off. If it were happening, they would have done it by now a million times over already. I would have done it by now a million times over already. I don't review games that don't accept codes. I have no reason to lie to you about this.
The whole business policy system is fucked too, because they will... While they can't legally tell people to say only positive words, this is really course reviewers in Norwoods. Yeah, we went over that, I think, already. Yeah, that's literally all they do. That's literally what they do, yeah. Literally what they do. They coerce people. What can you do? What can you do, you know? One second. God damn, can you fucking let me? Okay.
It's just not happening. It's just some fucking guy. There are also just a bunch of factors where it comes to some fucking guy's opinion, where the person who reviews the game is the most likely to be excited about that game because they put their name down on the sheet where they said they wanted to review it, so they are likely to be more interested in it. Basically, some fucking guy is probably into the thing that he signed up to play however many hours of and write a review of. That's why he signed up to play. I didn't even know you could review. My suggestion to people looking for game reviews that they align with is actually to just find an individual or a couple of individuals, a reviewer like one writer or one YouTuber who you really align with and actively seek out their opinions. I don't even feel like it makes sense to read every IGN game review when IGN is just 20 different some fucking guys who have vastly different opinions from one another even, and frequently disagree on review scores even as employees of the same company. Like I said, while I worked there were review scores that were given out that I really did not agree with, but there's like nothing you can really do about that because I'm not the some fucking guy who reviewed that particular thing. What I do personally is just ask my friends. I don't read reviews at all. Literally never. They mean nothing to me whatsoever. And I even felt this way when I worked in that space. I just asked friends what they think of something and what they like about it and what they didn't like about it. And based on what I know about that friend and what they said they liked or they didn't like, I can make an assessment on whether I will or will not like something. Basically, 7 out of 10 is the average because the scale accounts for the amount of games that do not have even half the complexity of most of the games that you play, and does need to have the lower half of that scale in case one of those games gets reviewed. Again, I'm not trying to defend that, just trying to explain it for anyone who might be interested or like has never thought about it before.
That makes a lot of sense.
You know, if this video makes anyone go, oh, yeah, that makes sense, then great. And remember, game reviews are just the opinion of some fucking guy.
Oh.
Twitch, this is...
Shit.
I can't...
What was the video she was talking about earlier?
This video is...
That she said she was gonna make? Oh man, that's a video. Oh man, that's a video. Oh boy. That's a bit of a video. I don't know if we should watch it afterward. About what companies do to get good reviews or something. Man. Oof. Doesn't released it, but what about the other video? Oof. I'll put it.
My channel is sponsored by Rocket Money, which means we will hear more from them somewhere in the middle of the video.
If you haven't heard about this particular phenomena already, honestly, I'm so happy for you. But I have, and you clicked on the video. So now we must suffer from perceiving this insane brain rot together. It turns out the original video that made me want to make this video has actually been taken down, but in essence it was a guy saying that any woman who weighs over 130 pounds is objectively overweight and should not be allowed to wear a sundress. But there's a lot of this just across the board. Basically, there are a lot of people saying that any woman over 130 pounds is overweight or obese, or if she's over 130 pounds,
how
bro,
much is
I don't fucking want it, bro.
130?
Especially from those like man on the street videos that have really blown up on Reels and TikTok recently that are just so great for society. Hey there, you definitely aren't the 100th person that I've spoken to about this tonight, but every single person before you gave a really boring and reasonable answer because most people are boring and reasonable, but I have to keep asking the question so that I can eventually
about
get
58.
An answer that somebody will rage about.
Holy